Welcome to this installment of HatChic. Mr. James was a famous milliner who worked up to the 1970s. He is credited for making a packable hat for travel. Hat lovers everywhere have always wanted one of these, and today I'm going to show you how to make one. Now let's go over what the supplies are that you're going to need for this. A hood, a straw hood, and here I have two of them in different colors. And these are parasisal straw, and as we go along I'm going to show you different kinds of straws that you can use. You're going to need a bowl of water, so put about a cup of water in a bowl. You're going to need a sponge, aluminum foil, a pressing cloth, and I like to use a piece of muslin, but you can use whatever you like for a pressing cloth. And optional are clothespins. Sometimes as you're doing it you may need some clothespins. And then after we have made it, we're going to need a very, very heavy book. Now that we have our supplies, let's get started. We're going to take our hood and get a sponge wet, and we're going to lightly get this wet on the outside and the inside. So now I'm doing the inside. I love these made out of the parasisal. It's so beautiful. It almost looks like linen fabric. Very regal. Now I have this very, very damp. So now I'm going to get started folding it. I'm going to put my water away and bring out one piece of aluminum foil, and I'm going to start folding this. Usually what I'll do is I'll start down for my first fold about 1 inch. And right now I'm going to have Anna come and help me. So my model is going to be Anna. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Now this is where it's good once in a while to have a couple of clothespins or 4 hands. So you might want to do 4 clothespins in here to get started on the next layer. And before I start the next layer, I usually make sure that this is about 1 inch. And then lay this down like this and start the next layer right underneath that. Okay, once you have it in place, then we're going to take the clothespins out and put another layer of tin foil over. Next, we're going to take our heavy book and we're going to put it on here for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll be ready to decorate our hat. We've had the book on here for 10 minutes now, and it's ready to take the book off and let it dry. Now we've let this dry, and the next thing to do is take a peek at it, and if you'd like these edges to be a little bit more crisp, I recommend that you take your pressing cloth and steam it with your iron. And then you have a little bit more a crisp edge on here. Now the next thing to do is decorate this. This is the fun part. Isn't this terrific? So when you travel, you just throw this in your suitcase. It goes flat, and you can take it with you anywhere you go. It's always packable. I'm going to show you a few different things that you can do with the travel hat. The first thing to get started is you can just leave it plain like this and travel with it like this. And you can see how attractive that looks. Anna is our model here, and she's going to show you what it looks like from all different sides. And there's so many different things that you can do to add to this when you're traveling. One of the things that's really exciting is you can just take different colored scarves and put them on it. So let's try one with a scarf. And this is parasisal still that we're using. And as you travel, you can just take a scarf and change it up as you're changing your outfits. See how cute that is? I just love it. Now another thing that you can do is if you want it bigger, you can try a capeline. Now this is a parasisal capeline, and you can see how big they come. Now again, when you're traveling, you can take this and you can add scarves to it and all kinds of things. You can have flowers that you're going to have a pin on the back of it and just pin it on and off at deciding what you're going to wear with your outfit. Now this particular one, I put a wire in the edge so it lays a little bit flatter and gives a little bit different look. This is a navy blue one. Now what do you do if it's too big for you? So let me take this off and I'll show you. What I recommend is that you take a round piece of elastic, and it comes in black or white, thread it through a tapestry needle, and then you're going to start going in and out here all the way around where the head size measurement is. Tie a bow in the back, and then you can tie it as tight as you like on your head. So let's take a look and see what that's going to look like. Now if you don't like it showing, you can also put a scarf around here or a band to cover it up. But that's what I recommend that you do if it turns out just a little bit too big for you. And this is what it looks like with the bigger parasisal capelines. Now there's a lot of different other straws. Now let's try a different one. This one is jute. And you can see how you can decorate it. Now jute typically is a little bit scratchy, so I recommend that you put a head band inside of it to keep it from scratching your head. And this one has a headband inside of it. And then I use a cinemae trim on it for this one. And it's just so perky. And you can see how it has the headband inside here. And it goes flat even with this trim on it to put into the suitcase. This one is a knotted sisal. And you can wear these straight on or tilt them. And this gives a total different look with the knotted sisal. And I just think they're so attractive. Again, I use cinemae trim to finish it off. And you can see how it goes flat, and you can still put it in your suitcase. This one is paper toyo. And when you're working with this is probably the least expensive. You have to be very careful when you're getting it damp. If you get it too wet, your hands will go through the paper toyo. So you have to just be very, very gentle with it. It's also hard doing the paper toyo to get all the pleats out of it. So I just incorporated it into the look here. Now this is another idea that you can do when you put a wire on the edge, then you can cover it with either a band of Petersham, or this is cinemae. Cinemae trim, cinemae edging. And as I mentioned before, you don't have to do 3 different layers. You can just do 2. I've seen people do squares, do these in squares. You can make templates, and you're the designer, so come up with something very new and different. Now, 2 other materials that you can use. One of them is twisted paper toyo. And you can see this is what this looks like here. And this makes lovely hats. And the other one is seagrass. Seagrass also makes, it's very stiff, so that it gives a totally different look than the parasisal. But this works really well too. Now, let's look at the hat that we made today and put a little trim on it and finish it off on Anna. And I have a flower here, and we're going to add this flower to the hat. And we're going to put a pin on the back of this, so when she's traveling she can take this on and off in the suitcase and it'll still go flat. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Diana.
You're looking fabulous.
Thank
Now
you.
let's get Laptop's seal of approval. Laptop! Say goodbye to everybody.